Hey Caleb. Hey, I just wanted to go over a few things that we went over today. We didn't really learn a whole lot of new stuff. It was basically getting down the bare basics, which is very important, of course. We went over the G scale, and I already broke it down in that other video that I gave to your dad. And, of course, we went over the chords again as well. The G, C, and D. And I also did that in the other video. We went over a lot of the stuff that we did last week, and but this week was more about exercises, really. We did the hammer-ons. We learned how to do that, and the pull-offs, and stuff like that, and just some new stuff, basically like that, and some slides. We learned how to slide and get everything nice and clean. And I just wanted to go over some of that with you, what we went over. So, as for the pull-offs, or let's start with hammer-ons. Okay, you know how to do them. What you do is you hit this note, okay, and you have your middle finger ready to hammer it, okay. So what you do is you hit this note right here, and then you take your middle finger and then you hammer this fret right here, same string, okay? But you do it a little bit more quicker than that, like this, okay? So you do that, and that is a hammer-on. Now, of course, you could do it like this. You can go 3 frets if you wanted to. And you can do it on any string, of course, And that's basically it for hammer-ons. And it's very vital to know because, you'll use a lot of hammer-ons and a lot of stuff like, there we go. But, yeah, you'll use hammer-ons a lot in lead. But, yeah, that's basically it for hammer-ons. Now, the opposite of hammer-ons, which is pull-offs. Now, they're very important. I use them a lot, as I demonstrated earlier today. That right there. That is a pull-off. And, basically a pull-off, what you do is you have both of your fingers ready on 2 frets, okay? Excuse me if I'm trying to really rush with this. I'm trying to do it in 15 minutes. If I go over time, it's okay. I'll just make 2 videos, which is perfectly fine. But what you do is you have your 2 fingers ready, okay? And what you do is you hit. Of course, you're going to be hitting this note right here because that's the one that's before the you're on the same string, and this comes before this, okay? Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to play the same string, that note. Now remember what I said, you don't just let off the string. What you do is you put enough force behind your middle finger that it's like playing the string again, you see? See a difference? Do you hear that? It's like playing the string again. You can do it on any string, of course. But just for a demonstration. And yeah, they're very important. Practice them a lot. Pull-offs and hammer-ons. Two very different, kind of the same but different kind of things. Yeah, that and slide. You know what a slide is. You just slide your finger, but you keep the same amount of pressure as you slide. Okay? And this is going to be very vital for, playing a lot of lead. you're gonna be playing a lot of lead eventually, and you're gonna have to slide a lot. But anyways, so sliding and hammer-ons and pull-offs are very important. Okay, but I've been focusing on this hand most of the lessons, and I never really got down to this hand right here, which is just as important. Okay, let me fix my guitar up to where you can see. Okay, but this hand is just as important as your left hand. Why? Because it keeps the rhythm going. It keeps the groove. It keeps everything going. I showed you an exercise. Well, first of all, I showed you how to hold your pick. You hold it with as little pressure as you can. You should be able to pull it out. That's how much pressure you should have. It kind of gives it a more relaxed sound. If you give it the death grip, you're gonna get a bigger tone, which is it's not meant for all musics, but what you want is a nice, smooth, calm tone. Okay? But an exercise I taught you to do is, I noticed when you were doing your scale, you were hitting all down notes. That's good. I'm just really happy that you can play a scale. I mean, even second lesson, that's really good. That's really good. I've never taught anyone a scale in the first lesson before, so that was new. But anyways, the down notes, they're good and all, but that can eventually form into a bad habit. Okay? Like if you wanted to play a lot of lead, it'd be hard to. You can get a lot more. Let's see if I can do it. If you do both ways, see, you can go twice as fast. Remember, I called it rocking the pick. It's where you go up or down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It keeps the rhythm going. Now let me do a scale with that same rhythm. It keeps going, see? Okay? Just whenever you're in front of the TV, just watching some cartoons or, whatever you watch, just keep that going. That same rhythm. And practice rocking the pick. Now another thing I noticed when you were playing, let me see if you can see all of this. Anyways, when you're playing more of a strumming thing with your whole hand, which is good for strumming. But it can also be a bad thing. I mean, it's a good thing if you're playing a lot of. Oops. But you also need to move your wrist. See, you kind of gotta feel it. I guess that would be the thing. I know we didn't really go over this part, but what I want you to do, especially when you're doing the scale. Okay. What I want you to do is I just want you to practice, first of all, doing that rocking the pick. But notice how I'm only moving my wrist. I'm not moving my whole hand, or my whole arm, rather. I'm just moving that wrist. Okay? Just practice moving your wrist and loosen up a bit, in that area. Just practice that. Okay? That's the exercises I want you to practice. And of course, practice your scale. But like I said, practice it with, clearness and finesse. It'll all come to you. You're doing really good. I'm very impressed. It's really coming along great. And yeah, you're doing wonderful. Oh, I almost forgot. I I showed you one chord today that's really useful in a lot of praise and worship music. You know the G, you know the C, you know the D. Today I taught you the E minor. See, get that to where you can see it. And it's a really simple chord, okay? What you do, or what I usually do, I saw you using the, your pointer finger and your middle finger, which is okay. But it kind of limits you because, if you wanted to make that, like I said today, that minor, if you want to make it into a major, you can do that if you use your middle finger and your ring finger, okay? So let me show you how to do this minor real fast. What you do is you're going to take your middle finger and place it on the fifth string of the second fret, the second from the top string, I call it the fifth string. You place it on the second fret, and then you take your ring finger and you put it on the string just below, which is the fourth string? Yeah, fourth string. And on the same fret, second fret, okay? And you just play. Okay, that makes a E minor. E minor. And they all fit into the same category. Or, well, they don't fit all in the same category. What I mean by that is they use them a lot in the same songs in that order. Okay? So that's how you make a E minor. Now, remember how I said make that a major? What you do is you make the minor chord like this, like I just showed you, but then you take your pointer finger and you place it on the third string of the first fret, okay? And that makes it a major chord, a major E. It may be tough for you to get at first, but it's alright. These things will come with time. And you're doing really, really good. I'm very impressed with you. You're really coming along. It's going great. So just keep up the good practice and the good work. And yeah, if you have any trouble, just let me know, and I can make another video explaining more or going into more detail, and whatever it takes. All right. Well, bye.